안녕하세요. 논리적 비즈니스 영어의 최강자 카테 잉글리시입니다. 지금부터 저와 함께 논리적 비즈니스 영어 여행 함께 떠나시죠. 자, 갑니다. Let's go! Hello, I am Nanjer, teaching business English in South Korea. As the first topic of shifting your paradigm of business English, today I'm gonna telling you different people with different English accent. The purpose of making this video is to shift existing paradigm of Korean English education about how to study business English. And my audiences are Koreans generating a profit from international market. Okay, until now, most Koreans learning English in South Korea, they are still stick to pronunciations coming from English-speaking countries like UK, US, Canada, and Australia. After working with the cosmopolitan, I am in question why Koreans are still and blindly possessed with the pronunciation, honestly, which is nothing to do with the generating profit based on the Korean economic situation. So, I will introduce the video of 13 interviews speaking English, of course, all from different countries. Okay. After watching it, I keep talking today's topic. Stay tuned.
The country has never been closed. We've always kept society open and the border open. And we were able to do this because we had the 3 T's.
Threat. But they're just sitting in the middle of the sanction. And eventually they run out of their resources.
So you're prepared to...
is going to ring in some good news for the youth, taking a firm step in implementing Prime Minister Narendra Modi's noble initiative of doing away with job interviews.
The situation which Hong Kong is in, because they are a city with a lot of talent, a lot of enterprise, a lot of potential. They are right on the doorstep of China. And China has really made...
Is committed to the reform agenda. The entire team, at least 80% of the team, were our colleagues struggling for the last 2 decades on this agenda for reform.
That's the choice, actually. That was the choice of the American people. So our principled position, China's principled position is that we don't make too many comments.
Definitely, we will have to cut nearly 20% of our workforce, nearly equal to the amount of aeroplanes we are never going to fly again over the next 3 years. It's a very hard decision because, we built...
What do you see about that?
I'm sure you watched the video. Did you see anything about sexual abuse? I'm asking you.
What did you see?
I didn't see anything like that. I have not done anything like that. And let them know that...
To declare ourselves an independent state, we are an independent country already, and we call ourselves Republic of China, Taiwan, and we have our own system of running the country, and we do have...
Who moving because of job, because of economy, or because of climate change is really difficult. The impact of climate change is a lot. Dry and high temperature.
That is coming in shows that I'm leading. So I think I'm very confident that I have gotten the mandate of the Indonesian people.
I would not report to the council. I also said that I was not going to escape. I was not going to go underground or mobilize people to resist the military.
We support the claim that what's happening in Marawi is a national crisis. In terms of the reach of the Maute group, they can wreak havoc in the whole country in terms of activities that...
Okay, what about your feeling after watching this video? Do you still think certain interviewees are poor at speaking English because of their English pronunciation? No one thinks that they are not good at speaking English. Okay, now that feeling that you got into watching this video, yeah, it is what the business English is. The reason that I introduced this video interviews contract interact with Korean economic situation. Currently, Korean economic level is already in the extent of developed countries' economic level, which means Korean main industries like construction, manufacturing, car, and shipbuilding, they are very difficult to sell the product in developed countries' market because there are only few countries better than Korean economic level. And because of increase of labor fees and the cost of living in South Korea, the price of Korean product is not competitive in developed countries' market. This is why Korean main industry choose the offshoring strategies, which is finding out developing countries to move their factories. Probably, these strategies help them making the competitive price, but people increasing Chinese economy level. Okay, in the beginning, most of the Korean companies believe that we have a comparative advantage like product quality and technique compared to China. But at this moment, sadly, there is no gap of product quality and technique between South Korea and China. And of course, in the name of globalization, there are so many developing countries trying to penetrate the developed countries' market, which means there are no rooms for displaying Korean product anymore. In other words, developed countries' market is already saturated in others' products made by developing countries because they are more competitive than the price of Korean products. Therefore, Korean international consumers should be changed from developed countries to developing countries because Korean product is still competitive in the emerging market, which means Korean economic improvement in the future should depend on demand of developing countries and developed Asian countries. This is why Koreans studying English should be familiar with English accent from non-native English-speaking countries, which is like understanding and respecting the culture of potential market. Okay, what is the business English? The first condition to know the business English is targeting the right way to make a profit. And please consider why you still are blind to stick to the pronunciation from English-speaking countries. Okay, firstly, in the micro point of view, you just want to take a high score of Korean English test because speaking English with a good pronunciation is one of the criteria to take a high score. But after watching the interview's video, no one thinks that the English level is poor because of their pronunciation. And lastly, where's the macro perspective of Korean English education? No one interested in finding out the macro perspective Korean English education. I think the first step to study business English is to realize why Koreans should be familiar with English accent from non-native English-speaking countries. Okay, it is the way of building up the macro perspective of business English. Okay, thank you for watching my video. Bye bye.
네, 영상 즐겁게 시청하셨습니까? 다음에는 훨씬 더 유익하고 알찬 영어 정보로 여러분에게 다시 찾아뵙겠습니다. 그럼 다음 시간까지 안녕히 계세요.